NJ, thank you for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
Let's begin with the basic question. Who are you?
I think Energy Champ, I'm currently the CEO of Centurion Law Group. We are an oil and gas law firm. We do a lot of work for the energy sector across Africa. And basically we try to do deals, whether it is in East Africa and South Sudan, or coming down south to Zambia, or looking at Nigeria, Equatorial Guinea, or Ghana, or Sierra Leone. And throughout Africa, we continue to see this need for not just legal services, but advocacy for African entrepreneurs or business doing business in Africa, and making sure that their voices are heard.
So I hear you say energy chamber, meaning you're spanning all forms of energy across the African continent, correct?
Absolutely, because Africa is richly endowed. Africa is about natural resources. The problem is that who is advocating, who is speaking up for the needs of the players within the energy industry?
Right.
They need a voice in order to make Africa be more developed, in order to make sure that Africa is really working well. We need to really be able to advocate those issues, what it means creating an enabling environment, for combating corruption, ensuring that Africans are true stewards of their own resources. That is what the chamber is about.
So your main reason for your existence is, as you say, you are looking to the interests of Africans. Is that correct?
Of course, we're looking at.
Or are you also working for the interests of Total or for the interests of Chevron?
Absolutely. Total, Chevron, ExxonMobil, Sonangol, GPetro, and the everyday Africans, they have something. What we need to try to demystify in Africa is the demonization of oil companies or big oil companies. You cannot love jobs and hate those who create jobs. You have to create an enabling environment. But there's also another mix here. African giants, African companies, whether it's Owando, whether it is Royal Gate, whether it is GPetro, whether it is Sonangol, whether it is Sahara. These African giants, they need advocacy. They need to be put into the business, whether it's through local content policies.
And you're bringing them all together.
You have to.
NJ, part of the reason why I am not immediately jumping up and down for you is because you're not saying what I want to hear. What about this crazy situation where we've got our oil going out of Africa and then coming back as refined oil, and we're paying I don't know how many multiples of the value that went out in the first place? What are you doing about that as the African Energy Chairman?
I think I am trying, it's not about what you want to hear, it's about truth. Truth crushed to earth will rise again, as William Cullen Bryant would say. No lie can live forever, as Kalai would say. But let's look at this. There is a great initiative in Equatorial Guinea, LNG to Africa, using Africa's gas to power Africa, using Africa's natural resources develop. You cannot develop Africa or build power with generators. You cannot run industrial generators. So we have to turn that mix. So how do you make that happen? You empower African companies. You push them. You give them what it is financing, what is an enabling environment. For African, for example, gas companies, they can go from gas to power, change everything to make sure that this works. In Cape Town, September 5th to 7th, they're going to have the Africa Oil and Power there. I am looking forward to being there because you're going to have almost 20 African ministers, most of the big companies being there to really discuss this. And I think it takes leadership. And I think what the chamber is trying to do is that let's get people together. Let's use these natural resources to really empower. Because you know what is happening? There is a big change in the continent. At the end of the day, it's about jobs. Jobs for everyday Africans who are not looking at being on the stock exchange, but they're looking at seeing that their natural resources work for them. So if you're not creating jobs, then we're going to be in real trouble.
Absolutely. We've got to get those value chains going and making sure that they stay inside the African continent.
Absolutely. Africans have to be from upstream, midstream, downstream, every part of the value chain. If you don't put Africans in there, it's going to be a problem. Now we got to work with the Exxons of the world and the Marathons and the Nobles and all the big IOCs, because you know what? You need their money. You need their investment. You need their expertise. But you have to empower your people so that you can phase them out, and then you have guys in, and you and I can make a lot of money, because I'm a capitalist. I want to see Africans making a lot of money in this industry.